at the very end.
That's where Randy.
We have a quorum, but yeah, it's nice. It's like,
Janelle, if you forget my water bottle next time, I'm just,
Either the 16th or the 22nd. I don't have it in my packet.
yeah, I could totally use that water bottle.
Yeah.
The minutes
So as
of
long as you're
those
standing
I'll
up,
get this email to you
No, I
and you
you
read it.
probably see you're on
can
camera.
And it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got this all off the email.
Hey, George Ryan.
So my biggest problem is.
Hey, I was just checking to see if you were coming to the meeting tonight.
Okay.
Is the video on?
I don't know why the cochlear device.
It is.
And it could be my accent. So.
Oh,
I just hit go live and said you were live.
any number of relatives with it worse.
Second time lapse.
I think he's coming in right now.
Oh, there he is right there.
Oh, he is. Okay, perfect.
Okay, here you can.
Can you increase the pace there, please? We've got a long meeting, we have to get through.
Where you start?
Go.
Right here. Okay, yeah, I'll stay there. Okay, let's go ahead and convene this meeting for the regular school board meeting in Garden Valley School District number 71. The date is Tuesday, September 13th, 2022, and it is 6:05 p.m. Meeting is now called to order, and we are live on the video. Does it look like we're good?
I think so.
Think so? Okay. We're good? Okay. Okay, first thing up is to have roll call. So if you are here, please state your name and that you're present.
George Simpson, here.
Vern Pearson here.
Morris Morgan, present.
Kylie Peters here.
Ryan Williamson here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a minute and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, well, we're very excited for the next item on the agenda here. Tonight, we would like to go ahead and swear in the new school board trustee for Zone 5. We have Vern Pearson here. So Vern, I'd like to take you through the swearing in process, if that's all right. I think I might need you to stand up in front of the camera. If you don't mind, come and stand up and you can face the camera over there.
Talk to my back.
Yeah, or you can stand sideways a little bit.
Sideways.
Yeah, either way, we'll try to make it work. And what I'm going to do, Vern, is I'm just going to read off a section at a time, and you can repeat.
Yeah, I'll repeat after you.
Okay, very good. Here we go. I state your name.
I, Vern Pearson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of trustee of Garden Valley School District,
the duties of the trustee of the Garden Valley School District,
number 71,
number 71,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
All right, very good. Welcome on board. Okay. Okay, next up, we have some recognitions that we want to make. And I believe we have Steve to present those for us today. Go ahead, Steve.
I'll make sure that's
Yeah, right here is good. Yeah, either.
Yeah, I'd stand on the other side, right over
There you
there,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
There are two groups that I would like to recognize. The first one is the school leadership team, and they include Kristen Lingsfield. She's overseeing the special ed department or representing the special ed department. The next person is Hannah Mitchell, who is in the audience today, and she is representing the elementary campus. elementary teachers. We have Trevor Shufflebine, who is representing the middle school section. We have Ryan Wessels, who oversees the high school. And we have two additional people on here as well. Michelle Vogel is representing the specials, and the last person is Josh Ward, and he's with the security or the safety portions of the school. The next group that I'd like to really recognize, this is really exciting for us, the work that we've been putting in and the collaboration, the partnership is the PTO. And I just would like to recognize the 5 officers that have been sworn in for the PTO. I believe that they had a meeting in which I attended. It was just nice for us to be in the same room. Leah Bisbee is the president. Nicole Ballou is the vice president. Jody Waldman is the secretary. Hannah Mitchell, who's once again in the audience, is the treasurer. And Janelle Shanahan is the media representation. Yes, media specialist. Guru. Excellent, that's it for this part.
Very good. Thank you, Steve. Okay, next up, we need to approve and adopt the agenda. So can I ask for a motion from the board for that?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve and adopt the agenda as written.
Thank you. Okay, Vern seconds that. Any further discussion?
No.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The agenda has been adopted and approved. Okay, next we need to review the consent agenda. We need to, on A, the approval of the minutes for only August 9th, also B as written and C as written. So would like to have a motion for those 3.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the consent agenda as written.
Second?
Further conversation?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Consent agenda is approved. All right. Next up, delegations and reports. So we do have Randy is out this month, but in place, we're excited to have Steve Lynch come and provide us with a report from the principal's office. Steve, put you up on the mic again here.
I believe that you guys all been given this handout right here. So I just wanted to review this handout. We are in week 5 of the school year, and we have completed 17 days of school. And in the first 2 weeks, the majority of our time was occupied with scheduling. In those 5 weeks as well, incidents is something that we've been reporting and documenting extremely hard. We just had a meeting, a training this past Friday on MTSS, which kind of encompasses the entire umbrella with regards to the whole operations of a school. And within that, it involves incidents. So I just want to take you through each of the 4 items here. You can see on the top left-hand side where it has the bars right there. Those are the number of incidents per week. You can see in week number 1, we had 23. Week number 2, we had 34, 35, 28. And then as of yesterday, concluding yesterday, we've had 1 incident. Altogether, we have 120 incidents. And in the 16 days of school, that's as of yesterday, that's averaged to about close to 7 to 8 incidents per day. On the next one in the yellow bar graph right there, it tells you the incidents per grade level. And so what we've noticed here is that the middle school is the one that I really want to pay attention to, because as you can see the numbers, grades 6, 7, and 8, they occupy about 52 out of the 120 incidents, which is close to about 45%. And so with that in mind, that is the group that we are really focusing on right now is the middle school. And we expect that to be higher than any other groupings. Now, if you move down in that, the one right underneath it, it says incidents by area. So we've tried to code this into about 4 or 5 different themes. And then within that, the majority of the incidents actually falls into behavior. And we can actually start to see a trend here where the middle school is actually disruptions and disrespect that we are seeing at a very high level. And it makes sense just being that it's the junior high. With regards to cell phones and dress codes, that's something that we're seeing at the high school end. And then with the elementary students, we're actually seeing they're trying to identify the norms of society or within the classroom. So it's kind of a little bit of, it's nothing like dress code or, what I'm trying to say is that it's pretty mild and it's something that we can manage for the most part with regards to elementary behaviors. And then the last incident, or the last chart that I would like to, is a pie chart, and it tells you the level of incidents, or the incidents by level. So we right now have 4 levels: level 1, level 2, and then level 3 and level 4. Level 1 and level 2 really pertain to the classrooms where teachers are asked to manage the classrooms. When it gets to the level 3 and level 4, this is where I come in and intervene, and then we are fully utilizing Mr. Martin in the ISS. Right now, up to date, we have 9 in-school suspensions. We have 1 that is actually a repeat, and then parents are informed, teachers are informed, every party's informed, and we are documenting and communicating where it starts out with an in-school suspension, then it's doubled, and then if need be, it will be actually tripled into the in-school suspension, then it will get to out-of-school suspension, and then eventually they will be in front of you with a hearing to see what the status is at that point in time. Do you have any questions for me with regards to this?
Principal Lynch, I can't speak for the rest of the board, but I absolutely think this is fantastic.
Yeah.
This gives us a really good, overall viewpoint of things, and it really pinpoints the areas, and I really appreciate you guys doing this.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we're going to do, I've been sending out emails to the staff, and what we're doing is also we're trying to isolate the week that it happened. So an email will go out for that week, and then we're also doing a perpetual overall tally, and so they will see that. The number of incidents is actually much higher than I anticipated. And while I'm trying to address this right on the moment, there's literally about a day and a half, 2 days of lag time just to make sure that all the documentation is gathered and we're taking the measurements that we need to. I mean, well, we are addressing it, but there's, just for transparency, it's taking us about a day and a half to 2 days to really do what we need to with fidelity.
And I think you may have said this earlier, but just to clarify that if they are on this thing, it is recorded and documented.
It is on ALMA, and then once again, communication is extremely important because we are notifying. First of all, we talk to the students, and then we talk to the parents, and then I have a meeting with certain members of my staff, and then we make a decision. And then after that, we execute what needs to be done. And then our guideline is a little sheet. It's a 4x3 grid, and it gives us a guideline what we should and shouldn't do. But some of these things we did not anticipate, so we're building that at the same time as well.
Wow, I appreciate it. Sure.
Any other
Thank you.
questions?
Yeah, is this an area here for kindergarten, the 16? I've seen these kids, they're cute and they little. I mean, I'm sure there must be a mistake.
There is
somewhere.
absolutely no mistake, and I would actually say that the
I'm
incidence.
saying it in jest.
The incidence is actually a low number as well because the teachers have been remarkable with their documentation, and some of them they are just addressing in their classrooms or wherever they have supervision. So they have decided not to put in every single incident that's happened. So this number is not. It could be actually much bigger if we want it to be much, much bigger.
I think what we're seeing, as you said, the numbers higher. I think we addressing behavior in the school that's become most probably a norm. And I think that a new standard is being set and kids need to know where the boundaries are. And the hope is, and understanding human behavior, once they understand this is a boundary and it's a hard boundary, they will know, and these numbers should come down.
I would expect that. I'm not sure when, but it will certainly, we do anticipate that as well. With regards to, if I may, just going off a little bit off of this, the in-school suspensions are also an accumulation of level 1s and level 2s. They're, once again, they don't need to necessarily come to my office or within my emails, but once again, there's quite a few 5 or 6 level 1 and level 2s. Once again, after the verbal has been relayed to them, we are giving them in-school suspension.
Okay.
Once again, this usually starts with a 2-day in-school, and after that, it will double to 4 and then double to 8. And then after that, this is where an out-of-school suspension is the next step. And then once again, ultimately, the hearing in front of you.
Okay,
Great to have that process in place.
Yeah.
Really
Exactly,
clear to
yeah,
see what that.
We're
behavior
absolutely
process is.
doing that. Once again, there's a live document that we are creating because we can't anticipate or foresee every single incident that's happening, but it gives us a better reference point of how to manage it for the future. So the team has been remarkable. I'm at this point in time, Mr. Martin needs to be given a lot of recognition, a lot of credit because he's been instrumental. I believe at this position. I'm not sure what we would do without his position right now because we are addressing what is really important, and once the incident goes down, the academics is going to come to the forefront, and I think we're going to see the results that we want to. Once again, I'm not sure the timing of it, but we will see positive results in the future.
Yeah.
For sure.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on to section 9 here. I'm not sure if there's any public comment tonight, but if there is, I will read this first. Any public comment will be taken from the public on matters scheduled on the agenda tonight. The chairman may interrupt or terminate an individual statement if it's too lengthy, personally directed, abusive, obscene, repetitive, or irrelevant. A person wishing to speak on an agenda item should fill out a request to appear before the board form 4105F and submit it to the board clerk before the meeting begins. These forms will be available on the sign-in desk over here and can be found also on gbsd.net, policy 4105F. Okay,
We did not receive any.
no forms filled out tonight? Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and move into new business for this month. We've got a number of policy updates that we need to review. Hopefully everybody on the board had a chance over the last couple of days to scan through those policies and just take a look at some of those changes. First one up is 5440. So this is on, go ahead and ask if anybody would like to motion the approval of the.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the additional holidays.
Do we have a second?
Yes, I agree.
So I think this came from state and it was modified for all school districts this year. The addition of Martin Luther King Jr. and President. Yeah.
I don't know if there's anybody here who knows why we don't do Martin Luther King Day. Because traditionally, and it's fallen away, Garden Valley School always had off first day of hunting away. Garden Valley School always had off first day of hunting season. I don't know if you guys know that that's why we didn't have Martin Luther King Day. They gave the kids off first day of hunting season.
Did not know
My wife went to school in Garden Valley, so that's why I know.
I'm surprised to see this too, because with our 4-day school,
Yes.
I'm actually, I don't know quite why we would even be considering this myself.
It probably went before the calendar committee.
They haven't met yet.
They haven't yet.
No.
Okay.
My
So-
guess is that
It's
other
because
school
the other
districts.
School districts are doing it,
Yes.
so,
and they're recognized holidays. The banks aren't
yeah, they're
open.
federal
They're
holidays.
federal holidays.
Yeah, but we don't have to take them off. Secondly, is this for 2023, 2024?
Yeah, that would be, it would go on future calendars. This calendar for this year is already set.
Okay, because then my next question, if it was for this year, is do we have enough hours? You know, with us having a 4-day school week, I'm reluctant to add more days, putting more pressure on teachers. Now, I don't have kids in the school. The type of work I do, whether there's a holiday in there, I have to get all my work done, my week's work done for the week, whether there's a vacation in there or not. So I'm not big on it. I'm just one person, but we do have this 4-day school week, and that's where I'm coming from.
That's my concern too.
Where I'm coming from.
It's hard with the 4-day school week.
Yeah.
And
Well, and that's something that other school districts don't do that's unique to here, right? So us having a unique set of holidays would maybe make sense from that perspective, I suppose.
So tell me again, where did this come from?
Did this come from Randy?
Randy.
But it didn't go through the calendar committee.
They haven't met yet, as far as I'm as far as I'm aware.
No, that passes.
Should we give this one some more time, potentially?
I would.
I'm willing to put it to a vote right now.
Well, you can put it to a vote right now because you already have a motion and a second, or you can withdraw the motion.
I think the calendar committee should meet and discuss this, and we should maybe have a couple questions. for them.
There are already recognized holidays for the school.
Last year and this year, the first 2 years, that's.
They just haven't been paid, so these are.
But they haven't been recognized. as
So they'd be
days
paid
that they-
holidays now.
So we already take these off
Just the last two.
for the last 2 years, yeah, okay. So the change is that it becomes a paid holiday. That's the key difference.
Designated holiday.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then run it by
already taken it
parents, you know, if it's very inconvenient, but if we're just taking it off because other schools are taking it off, I don't think that's a good reason, but I would have come back to, we have it for the school. And if we are taking it off, maybe we should just take it away. That's how I feel, but I don't have a kid here. So,
Well, they should definitely be getting paid for it if we're taking it off. If we're asking the teachers to recognize the holiday and not be here. Right?
I don't know. Okay.
I don't know, maybe we should get a little bit more information on this.
Please.
Okay, I'd like to go ahead and withdraw the motion on this one, guys, just due to the discussion that we've had.
I believe Kylie has to withdraw the motion
Oh, because she
because she
initiated.
made the motion.
I will go ahead and withdraw the motion to gather more information. We'll
Okay.
table it to the next meeting. Mr.
Yeah,
Chair?
so maybe we can postpone to the next regular meeting. And we need to get a vote on that, correct?
Yeah, you have to vote to table it.
Okay, can I get a motion that we postpone this discussion until, the October regular session?
I move that we postpone the approval or denial of policy 5440 for school holidays until the next regular school board meeting.
Okay, do we have a second? Thank you, George. Any further discussion on this one, guys? Okay, all in favor of postponing 1 month on this?
Aye.
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 Okay. That passes, that is postponed until our next regular session. Okay, let's move on to policy 3300. This is the drug-free school zone policy. This is an annual review. So there was something that I think maybe that modified this list here for the definition of drugs to also include vaping and vaping devices. And I think any of our policies that reference this type of topic should also include that, since that helps us keep up with the times a little bit, right?
The more clarity we have in the doc, the more.
So I think if we spend a little bit of time this month also making sure we get that wording right, I think it's pretty clear, and we can probably go ahead and utilize the same wording that 5. I think we probably want to keep that consistent across policies, but that's something that I think we should add in here before we approve it. So I guess I would propose, could I get a motion for postponing of this as well until the October regular session, and we'll get that, make sure and get that language in there.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I would table this till the meeting in October on policy 3300.
Okay, does anybody second that?
Second.
Okay, any further detail or discussion on this one that anybody wants to bring up? Or does everything else look okay?
Looks okay.
All right. Okay, all in favor of tabling until October regular session?
Aye.
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 Okay. All opposed? Did I get an aye from Vern? I didn't hear.
Yes.
Yes, okay, very good. Okay, that will be postponed until our next regular session as well. Okay, item C, this is for policy 3530. This is also an annual review. Assuming everybody had a chance to go through this and read the content of this, was there any concerns or discussion? Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Okay.
I move the passage of item number 3530.
Okay, did you motion that?
I'd motion.
You did, okay. Very good.
Second.
Second? Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Policy 3530 has been approved. Okay, next up, item D. I would like to have a little discussion about the possibility of accepting a resignation from Melissa Smith.
Yeah, I understand.
I gave here.
I do appreciate Melissa being with
Yeah.
us through the hardest time. Well, I mean, all the time I've been on the board, basically. So I do appreciate her efforts.
Thank you.
Melissa, there was a tumultuous time a few months ago, and you hung in there, and there was a lot going on and a lot to do, and I do appreciate what you did, knowing that you had studies to do, you have a life, and, you were getting ready to teach, so thank you very much for the time.
Yeah, and thank you
Yeah,
for your
thank
efforts
you.
in getting Gabe up to speed too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll help
I would
them.
like to add my word to that if I did, the new kid on the board. And she brought all sorts of paperwork for me, got it all put together. And I know she's starting a new classroom and I know how busy that is. But she still took the time to make sure that I had everything that I had asked for.
yeah, as long as I've been here, we've always been extremely prepared for everything. Excellent, just excellence in the position overall, just like what I'm hearing from in the classroom. So thank you very much.
I'm glad you're hearing that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, well, I guess
All right.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that we accept Melissa's resignation.
Second.
Any further conversation? Now or never.
No?
All right, we have Gabe Gillette right here, and we would like to have a similar discussion except about the possibility of bringing him on formally as the school board clerk. Is there any, do you feel like you've been up to speed, you feel pretty comfortable?
I can throw on if I ever get stuck too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Very good. Well, we're very excited to have you on, so. Okay, well, let's go ahead and put this one to a vote. Does anyone want a motion on that?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept Gabriel Gillette as school board clerk.
Okay, is there a second?
I second that.
All right, against that. All right, any further discussion? And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that passes. Welcome, Gabe, to school board clerk position. Following coaches. So we have Matthew Brasher for the JV boys basketball coach, and then Megan Donnelly for the middle school girls volleyball coach. Can I get a motion to go ahead and approve both of those as is written?
I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and approve Matthew Brasher and Megan Donnelly as JV boys basketball coach and Megan as the middle school girls volleyball.
Okay, thank you, George. Any discussion on this one? Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, very good. Both Matthew and Megan have been approved. Okay, moving on to old business. We do have one item under old business. This is the review of policy 3305. I believe we've got some modified language. but would like to, I think, open it up right now for any discussion around this? Or do we feel like the language represents what we need for this policy at this point?
Finally, I'm not gonna add
I see
another
a smile
word.
over there.
There is possibly another word that could
Yes.
go removed, but I'm not.
It's looking pretty good.
This is gonna be 7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
We did it.
good job.
Finally,
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I would like to move that we approve the amendments to policy 3305.
Excellent.
I'm gonna second that.
All right, Kylie seconds that. Any further discussion? Going once, going twice. Okay, all in favor of approving this?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, put that 3305 in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I think that brings us to the end of our agenda for tonight, you guys. Kind of short and sweet tonight. All right, let's go ahead and adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thanks for coming.
Mama Bay?
Board packets
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thanks,
that.
Dave.
Thank you so much.
That was from our, here, Dave, go. What's that? This thing right there. That was Cool.
Oh,
I really like this. As a board, we're. Yeah, my two daughters went through high school.
okay, and that would not be a function of the clerk.
It's a function of the clerk, but it's own and it has been very well sped out, because as of right now, I think mine's.
Okay.
So that was all about teaching them kids. I don't remember why. We've taken out the last 2 years. So it's just a basic time. Just say, yeah, there's a it allows for non-record requests.
Oh, because technically I'm still.
Yeah.
It's kind of like wondering some things that we put in place.
Somebody will figure it out.
Are we, is it too much of a shot on gas right now to try to get all
Yeah,
that
I
done?
didn't-
You guys have to-
So I think what I processed was yeah, that they offer,
Right,
which was already in place. How
Right.
many cents?
right,
And then he's evaluating that and decide what
Right.
business they're in.
right, because
You already have it.
that's why I remember.
What happened in the field? Because I've been done.
I agree.
And when we tweak it, if you need to tweak it,
Sure.
you know the business.
Right, now would we run it or would we have them run it? Or it would depend on the budget?
Oh, yeah.
This is what has happened at the very, very beginning.
Right,
Is like seeing what.
Yes.
right, see, I feel like, I'm like, do we have, probably the best way to build your multi-year goals or strategy or all of that, if it's not like actual real world data. But then it's like, I can't use goals until we have that information, right? Evaluate it.
But we've already got it, so we get, and
She said it takes 3 months to get the feedback from our seniors, which means that we within a 1 school year.
what you really have to do is let them know on timelines, what can you do to.
I actually wrote down before the meeting.
That we all agree, which I think we are, I've already circulated the ones that are in there, but I think your feedback on, I need to get several of them more specific, so that it's really a positive. If you succeed, yeah, if you can help me with that, we'll really, I think.
Something else that'll make you face probably is that I told you once, when you make a motion, so if you read it as it's written, when you make the motion, so I motion to agree with this policy. It makes no sense. Our minutes have to be verbatim.
Okay, so we go a little iffy this year. It's not funny what you said, but you know, just kind of like, all right, we know we need. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's great, but then it hurt that you're saying.
I don't wanna let this year go without getting goals and said, yep, he didn't have goals last year. No one said anything. I feel like we should get some basic goals on this.
Right. Well, what if we do this? What if we look at it and say, oh, yeah, you don't even need this. You can handle it. You got it? We're gonna call her and let's see. This makes you have to like see what you have. What we need, how can you help us do that? And then we build it from there.
And so that's what
And
I
take it from there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But
Morris was not a big fan.